Full disclosure guys, I had written a rap about Will Smith to the tune of the Fresh Prince theme to go at the start of this video. It referenced his humble rap origins, the Big Willie Weekend, the rise of Jaden, and so much more. But it was decided in the Whatculture offices that it wasn't really going to be that funny, so I had to cut it. So, anyway, I'm Alex from Whatculture.com, and here's 5 awesome Will Smith performances and 5 that sucked. Kicking things off with the awesome number 5, Agent J, Men in Black. The first Men in Black feels a bit kitsch now, with clunky model work, early CGI, and a very 90s vibe. Just look at that video. But what makes it still rewatchable is Will Smith's Agent J. With any other actor playing it straight, this would have been just another alien invasion film, but Smith leads with the right balance of disbelief, all-out shock, forced cool, and genuine cool. It needs Tommy Lee Jones to riff off, sure, but that's no discredit to either half of the double act. I'm not going to count the sequels though. The second one flips the pair's roles, but doesn't do enough with the characters, and the third just feels tired. Number 4, Robert Neville, I Am Legend. I Am Legend isn't a great movie. It wastes a thrilling sci-fi concept, boasts some of the most unengaging creature design imaginable, and the butchering of the ending is, well, legend. But Smith is solid, especially in the first half where it's just him and Sam working their way around an empty New York populated only by those zombie vampire things, where he calmly and methodically deals with surmounting problems. Even the saccharine flashback to his lost family pack an emotional punch. Heck, even when things take a turn for the crap in the final act, he's still a likeable, reluctant hero. It's just a shame the rest of the film doesn't come in around him. Number 3, Muhammad Ali, Ali. Ali is Will Smith's most acting-y role, a physical biopic that sheds some light on an iconic figure, in this case Muhammad Ali. This could have easily been an obvious attempt to turn mainstream appeal into award recognition, like, Concussion. But it isn't. It's a solid movie, not a boxing classic like Raging Bull, but an interesting dissection all the same. Oddly, Smith is better in the physical parts than he is in the trademark barbs that define the real-life man, but he's helped along by Michael Mann's assured directing hand. It's just a shame he's not really followed this up with anything comparable in the awards terms. Well, aside from Concussion, which is so bland it didn't make either side of this list. Number 2, Chris Gardner, The Pursuit of Happiness. Today, the thought of a Will Jaden team-up is enough to make you want to burn all of Hollywood to the ground. Back in 2006, however, it was only something you'd maybe commit first-degree arson for. The Pursuit of Happiness was a rather big surprise then. It looked to be Smith the Elder forcibly trying to show how sensitive he was now he's a father, but it's actually a really rather affecting film about the power of the human spirit, entirely anchored by the father-son performance. In stark contrast to his public persona, you can totally buy Smith as a struggling man with a dream and are won over almost instantly. The ending is the absolute definition of feel-good. Number 1, Stephen Hiller, Independence Day. The original Independence Day has so much good stuff in it. The massive destruction sequences, the speech, the themes of global unity, the Star Wars aping fights, the unrelenting iconography. But what brings it home is the characters. They're broad, yes, but they're accessible and make you care about everything else that's going on. And the standout is Captain Stephen Hiller. He's not the president reacting to the invasion, or the scientist who predicted it, or the crop duster who was anally probed, probably. He's the family man who sleeps through the actual invasion and has big dreams but relatable barriers, and eventually steps up to the plate in a massive way. His level of seriousness is exactly how the film wants to be taken, and it's no coincidence that he chose not to return for Independence Day Resurgence, and that film turned out to be a charisma-less bore. Not everything in Will Smith's career is fireworks though. Here's 5 times his desperation for a Big Willie Weekend fails spectacularly. Number 5, Del Spooner, I, Robot. What a name. I, Robot is a perfect example of a film ruined by being a Will Smith picture. There's an interesting movie behind the concept of a robot going rogue that immerses itself in the works of Asimov, but I, Robot is really only paying lip service to the sci-fi master, and the script has clearly been smashed to pieces so Smith can get all of his required cool dialogue. It's Smith on exuberant autopilot, going through his affable shtick without ever engaging or trying to add something to the story. This isn't Men in Black, where Smithisms add to the tone. It's meant to be a semi-serious action movie. Instead, it's oddly boring. Number 4, Nicky Spurgeon, Focus. After the failure of a certain movie that you can bet will appear later on in this list, Smith says he realised he wasn't in the 90s anymore and was really going to push himself with his project choices. Then he did Focus. It's just another of those movies where it feels like the finished script has been butchered to advance the Smith brand, sometimes to a ridiculous degree. There's a scene where a character who we later find out is Will's father criticises the younger generation and their use of Twitter, and blames Will for all this. What? Smith is 47 and doesn't use Twitter. Stop pretending it's 1998, you've grown up. Number 3, Jim West, Wild Wild West. Wild Wild West isn't just a bad Will Smith movie. It's a terrible movie that pretty much signalled the end of an entire era of star-led Hollywood and capped out a run of massive flops for Warner Brothers. but it is still a bad Will Smith movie as well. Jim West is treated as if he has the usual Smith charm, but he's never once actually endearing or funny. He just looks so unengaged, only showing emotion when he's OTT in the fights, and while that's likely the point, it doesn't make for an exciting hero. The only time he actually seems to get into the part is in the Tyne rap video, and there's a whole other kind of awful. Number 2, Oscar, Shark Tale. Shark Tale was the first movie I remember seeing in the cinema and going, nope, nada, not for me. I mean, it was early noughties DreamWorks, so there was never going to be anything that amazing. But fuck me, Shark Goodfellas? Whale Wash? The most hackneyed of, this is how Pixar do it, right? Plots? Smith's exuberance should really work in a kids' film, but he's so unbearable here, and likeable, over the top, and while it isn't part of the acting, horribly designed. The whole movie's garbage, but it's his performance that's the most grating. What makes it all the more irritating is they seem to actually have fun making this crap. Number 1, Cypher Rage, After Earth. Okay, where to begin? After Earth fails on pretty much every conceivable level and hurt the Smith brand more than even Wild Wild West. Although what did he expect? Not only did he choose to have master dud maker M. Night Shyamalan direct his Jade and Vanity project, but he spent the entire movie more wooden than the villains in The Happening. He plays Cypher Rage, stop sniggering, as a joyless soldier who never raises his voice above a slow drawl unless it's a random screaming outburst. Denied! And that's actually the point of the movie. His literal superpower here is that he's able to not show off any emotion, and that's presented as a good thing. Do you even understand who you are, Will? I can't. So there's our list. What's your favourite Will Smith performance? What's your least favourite? Let us know what you thought down in the comments. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more great film content, and you can follow me on Twitter here. Right, I'm going to stop this and record my rap.